Karen last night and said that they're getting serious about it in Franklin.
Hey, good morning.
Oh, John?
You all right? Good.
Said
I'm standing in front of
they brought 100 porta potties and 200 hand washing stations in yesterday.
No kidding. Okay. Who's getting the hand washing stations?
Over at Franklin, where Lindsay and Lacey live. They said, Lindsay texted Karen last night and said they're getting serious about the eclipse, said they brought 100 porta potties and 200 hand wash stations yesterday.
Who did?
The city of Franklin.
We did it work.
I think,
It's so on your way.
I think Ken's flying.
Yeah, I know.
It'll be dark.
Sir? This is from last month, this up to this day.
I hope that we're worried about that, but I don't see how it's going to be an issue.
I don't either.
So why would it be in my package or something?
No, that's
Before that.
Make a trip
Okay.
to go see this phenomenon.
Well, those people drive hundreds of miles to do it.
Well, yeah, but why would you to where there's nothing to do?
This is the
except for-
episode.
There's nothing to do except for that,
Watch this set.
that 37 seconds. And there's no place to eat except for fast food and one Mexican joint.
You have to bring your own.
And there's no place to stay.
It's not a destination.
Of course, Jan Parker, he said, people going to come from all over. I said, my brother's coming from Florida.
That's the way I am.
My daughter's coming from West Virginia. I
They
said,
were okay when I left.
but they wouldn't be unless you didn't live here.
Probably not, yeah.
He said, no, I hadn't thought about that.
Probably not.
Everything going good in
If they
Jason?
were going to come to see the eclipse, they would stay someplace else. They wouldn't come to Greene County. They wouldn't for him.
I agree. I just can't imagine people.
Water deal seemed to work out.
I will be in my undisclosed location
Still a headache, I'm sure.
with my radios, so
Ready to go.
in case I need to make a decision, I can.
Agreements this week that
If you will, let's give a pledge to the flag and we'll open the meeting. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Our first order of business is approval of the minutes, February 28th meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the minutes. Any discussion? All in favor? Financial update. Matt?
I'm going to start out with, give you a revised January financial statement. They're after the meeting, between the meeting and today. Jackie snuck in a few deposits on me, so your receipts are increased a little bit from what they were originally reported. It's $2,260 in receipts. That's an increase of $601 over the original January report. And then also upon Mr. Abrams' suggestion, I broke out the tire disposal services from trash disposal. So that's listed there in $5,126.60 was the tire disposal fee that we paid to galleons. Yeah, that increased the balance just a little bit, to 118,263.36. That was an increase of $601 over the original report. Any questions over that? If not, I'll move on to the February statement. We had a beginning balance of 118,263.36. Deposited $2,981. Paid out $26,882.24, and that left the balance at the end of February at $94,362.12. And then the current balance is $78,338.01. A couple things there under disbursements, repairs and maintenance. There was a load of topsoil brought in by Bradfield's Landscaping for the Split City Center. Professional fees there, that's payment to our firm. That was 2 months. That was for the month of December. It was normally paid in January, and in the month of January it was paid in February. Those were just all, those were paid both in the month of February. And then insurance there, we paid the annual premium for insurance, workers' comp and liability, all the insurances. So those were the things that I noted. Looking at the comparative financial statements, just to make you aware of trends there. Under disbursements, you can kind of look there and see the personal services, basically labor costs are up here. Looks like this year they're the highest they've been over this period of time. Trash disposal fees come down this year. Total disbursements, there you can see that this year is the top of that period of time. And the cash balance back in 2020 was kind of a tight time there financially, and some changes you made there in that year. The cash balance started rising, it's continued to rise. This year it's kind of settled back down. It's gone down a little bit, but still it's pretty good shape though. That's all I had. Any questions?
Now, that comparative statement there in 2023, if we go down through there,
Yeah.
and I see there's no insurance there. How come there's no insurance there?
That was probably just paid in a later month. It may have been paid in March. Just there was insurance paid definitely in 23, but yeah, it was just probably not paid.
We just haven't got there yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just looking at the first 2 months of all these years.
Need to make some more money.
Yep.
We'll fix that here in a little bit.
Any questions or comments? Discussion?
I'd make a motion to approve the financials and the claims.
Second. Motion's been made to approve the financials and the claims, and seconded. All in favor? Thank you. Customer revenue counts. Brent, would you want to do Linton's first?
Sure, yeah, we had a little bit busier month. This would be from February 28th through the 23rd. We had a total of 369 people, an average of 31 per day. Total monies $13.34 for an average of 110. Total recyclables around 6.7 tons of cardboard and recyclables. And that was with 12 days in this report and no holidays.
I owe you several reports here from Split City. I had one here from December, and I got thinking, I thought we took care of that. We didn't have a meeting in December, so I didn't have them last month. So December of 2023, we had 20 days, 2 holidays, 1,315 visitors, 66 average, and total money collected was $2,587 with an average of $129.35 a day. January, 21 days and 1 holiday. Number of customers was 1,169, and of the 56 average, total money collected was $2,259. with an average of 107.58. And then for February, 21 days, 0 holidays. Number of customers for the period was 1,169 with 56 for the average. And the total money collected was $2,985 for $142.15 per day, average. Any questions or comments on the activities?
I would like to add that the Linden substation, I would like to say, is probably a big majority of me, because we moved into a new house and we recycled a lot and threw away a lot. So I would probably one of the significant, in fact, Greg told me I was his best customer that one day, so just like to put that in.
We appreciate that.
Keep up the good work. Nothing like moving to clean out.
Okay, our next order of business is a discussion with the Citizens Advisory Committee on possible increase in tire recycling fees and bag trash and a few other items that we have that might be a little bit on the lower side. Kenny has sent out a rather lengthy list of information that I've tried to compile on a spreadsheet that I think you all have. And Kenny has a little bit more to add to that this morning, so I'd like to have him come forward and tell us what he's got.
As you guys can see, what we did is gather information from all the counties around you. Some have no services at all, some have quite a bit of services, and what they charge for the same or similar services in the counties around us here. What we found is the scope of work that you offer is pretty good, but you're also pretty cheap compared to what's costing other people to provide the same service. So I want to look at that. The other thing we found is the out-of-county versus in-county. I think the residents in Greene County pay $12 a year for the services you all provide. If an out-of-county resident, and this is also a common theme with the counties around, should pay more than what the taxpayers in Greene County pay for the same service. I think you'll see that too. That's a pretty good trend in the counties around it too. There's different pricing if you're in and out of county. So that's kind of the 20,000-foot overview. You've got quite a bit of latitude on some of the pricing. You can see that there's some of it's pretty close, and then there's some pretty big gaps in some of the other stuff. So that's kind of what we found so far. We'll be glad to do any more digging or surveying or whatever you guys would like to do. It's whatever the pleasure of the board is on how you want to evaluate the information.
We have several items on that list there, if you notice, that we're low on. And I don't think we need to raise everything, but there are just certain items that we're probably losing a fair amount. And the $12 a month that's on as a user fee is for recyclables. It's not for the trash or large items that we throw away, or the tires and things like that. So if anybody wants to recycle, it's a resident of Greene County, they're paying for that. That's their prerogative to recycle for their $12. But anything else is costing us to get rid of it. And it's about $210 a ton. Well, it's $170 a load and then $40 a ton. We get about 3 to 4 ton in a 30-yard bin. So we're paying for that out of our pocket. And it's all right to pay part of it. I don't think we need to be paying it all. So any suggestions that you might have, I'm not putting anything down for a suggestion.
The biggest thing I can see as far as our subject maintenance is the price difference in the mattresses and box springs.
Yeah.
Because what you're dealing with there is we take in several. The fact is, you can't compact those in the dumpster.
No.
And it doesn't take a lot of mattresses and box springs to fill a row off of. didn't realize we was that far off price-wise.
Same thing with furniture, you know, it takes up a lot of room, you can't put a lot of it in there. And we do the same thing in Switch City, take in a lot of mattresses and box springs. Carpet, rolls of carpet, maybe.
Looking at our citizens committee, would it be appropriate to let them go through this list and give us a recommendation of what they think we ought to do about increasing the prices?
We'd be glad to do that. We didn't take it any further. We wanted you guys to assess just the raw information. We would be glad to do some more research and come back with some fair recommendations. If that's what you'd like us to do, that's no problem.
I mean, I really appreciate these numbers. It's really very enlightening to me as far as what everybody else is doing. I think we do the citizens a disservice if we don't let you guys, as an independent committee, give us recommendations.
Sure.
That way it's, you know, y'all have been involved in the industry business, and you pay that $12 a year fee, so I think it's just appropriate to let you guys give us recommendations about where you think the fees ought to be.
We'll be glad to do that, and we'll try to get it in before the next meeting, so then you can see what is the flavor of the board as far as in-county versus out-of-county pricing. So say a mattress from Greene County and one from Sullivan County, what's the flavor of the board on that?
Currently, the out-of-county doesn't pay that $11 or $12 a year, and if they bring something in, unless we catch them, we don't know who they are. And we've caught a few with the license plates to show where they're from. They're willing to tip a little extra money in order to get to use the facility. But most of the facilities that you see, and you can see that through these invoices and emails, say right on there they don't take out-of-county waste.
Right.
So
I just don't know how you police that.
it's tough.
How do you police that, John? When you were doing that, how do you know what's in county and out of county?
How did you check the cars to see who was from Greene County, who wasn't?
Well, all you can do is check the license plates, but there are some customers that tell us immediately, or that told us immediately, I'm retired, that they are from out of county and they volunteer to pay, and we don't even know they're out of county.
Oh, okay.
But the license plates, the only way we know unless they tell us.
I think that out of county should pay more. I
agree completely.
Yeah. I think that's only fair.
So my
Charge $5 a day is what they charge for out of county.
And I think we need to go by the item. Like, well, let's say you got the vanities and sink combo here, that's trash, and you got $20, that shouldn't, $5 extra is not enough there, It ought to be 50%. Because how often are they gonna come? And they're still getting the benefit that everybody in the county is paying $12 a year for. And if they come just one time and it just costs them an extra $5, it only costs them $5 to use our facility, it costs everybody else in the county $12. So I think that, we ought to be looking at probably, whatever the item is, it ought to be half again what we charge county people for that.
And we need to keep it on an even dollar if we can, for making change. Rather than some odd cents, because that's pretty tough to keep change over and make change.
Right.
We'll be glad to put some stuff together. I'll get you in advance of the board meeting so everybody can look at it, and then we can do whatever way we can get.
When we've had cleanup days before, we ran into the problem at the Linton sub. The truck may have a Sullivan County plate on it, but he's hauling stuff from his mom's house in Linton. And I just made him produce a driver's license that had a Linton address. There's nothing saying that his mom, lives in Linton, but it may still be his stuff. But if they could produce another form of ID is how I do it. If they're coming in like that,
Makes sense.
because they'll normally tell you, say, a lot of times, like you said, they'll tell you right off the bat. And they may come in and say, hey, I know my plates are from Sullivan, but we're cleaning up from Mom's place. You know, and then it usually works out. And then you get some that just don't realize that they owe extra for coming out of Canada.
Right.
The spreadsheet,
Probably us and Jasonville run into it a little more because we're closer to the borders of the counties there, so.
I really like the spreadsheet, but I think that, just as you said, we need to get rid of that 17 cents and 68 cents. It needs to be even dollars. I'd like to see us squeeze this down a little bit. These TVs and stuff, for instance, did you actually measure those, John? Is that how you did that? Instead of having a flat fee for...
How did you price your TVs when you were there?
Well, the prices aren't they on here? And we measure each TV when it comes in.
You actually measured them when they come through? Yeah. Did that cause you much problem? Is that...
Oh, just occasionally somebody will throw a fit, $12 to get rid of this TV. And, you know, but for 13 inches smaller, it's $7, and the prices go up from there.
Rick, a lot of your recyclers,
Yeah.
that's how they bill you.
Right.
On the size of the TV, that's why you try to make it, you know, pretty consistent with what the customer's paying with what you're paying to dispose of.
Is it diagonal on your residential or is it?
It's diagonal.
Yeah. I mean, most people just measure the length of the feet. If it's 24 inches across, that's normally the chart, 24 inches. Yeah.
That's not the way to measure, that's not the way to tell.
If you go into my 55-inch screen, they're gonna measure it diagonally.
Yeah, screens are always measured diagonally.
When we get close to a price, we're going to
I'd just like to keep this list as small as we could and get more generic.
Have like maybe 2 to 3 different fees for TVs in this size
Yeah.
and go that route.
Less than 13 and larger than 13.
I like small, medium, and large, that's what I like.
Our biggest cost is in CRTs,
Recycling.
Yeah?
cathode, ray tubes.
They're more expensive to get rid
Picture
of.
tubes, yeah, the old picture tubes. They cost us quite a bit more to get rid of that. And Greene is taking a price increase, and we just recently signed a new contract. And that's right, we're signing a new contract with Greene.
Actually, it's under consideration today.
But they're taking a price increase, and I don't have the old one in front of me, so I don't know what the old price was. Some of it was 10 cents a pound. And we're going up to 45 and 49 cents a pound on most everything there, 40 to 49 cents. Pass that around, everybody wants to see it.
So that's how they charge us, is by the pound,
By the pound.
and we're charging people by the inch.
Which, that's the way we were set up to charge before we started charging by the pound. Of course, to change the pricing, we have to go through this process.
Right.
And have a public meeting and everything before we can change the process.
Well, not only that, then we're gonna have to have a scale over there to weigh them on.
They measure's easier than the scale.
Yeah. And then that scale will have to be certified.
Yep.
Recalibrated every year.
Checked regularly.
Yeah. Added to the county weights and measure guide. Be
Measured
certified.
the easy way, 2 sizes, this size and under, this size and over.
And I think if it's got tubes, it's one price, and if it's a flat screen, it's another price, and just be done with it, so.
And they still have tube TVs, can we still do that?
Well, I'm sure
We
there's
get
some
a lot of,
set-
I'm sure in my attic, I'm
there's
just
some
cheap.
set around at grandma's house too, you know, in the basement of grandma's house.
We get a lot of them. We get a lot of old monitors. It's the same thing. If they use a picture tube in them, CRT tube, the monitors are cost the same. So, a computer, they've been paying us 10 cents a pound for. It's not a lot, but they pay us for the computers. They charge us for the monitors enough to make up, more than make up for the weights of the computers. Well, we gotta get rid of them. So,
And I think it's a huge service to have the electronic disposal
it is.
for the the community. It's,
Well, as cheap as the TVs have got to be, but it's, people buying left and right.
Right.
With tax time, and, our tax rate wind up with
And
new TV boxes.
we've been taking in a lot of TVs this year, a lot of old, bigger TVs. And just recently, all were loaded out this last week. I think it was last week. But it's unbelievable how much electronics comes in over there.
Kenny, do you find most of the places take in this hazardous material? Most of them just won't take it.
It's so expensive to have anything like that. Most homeowners are exempt from that stuff anyway. The businesses usually have to take care of that themselves, from fluorescent tubes to paint. Most homeowners, you solidify your paint, and they can put fluorescent tubes in your home trash.
Yes.
We're seeing less and less of the days like that because it can cost very expensive to have oxygenating, very expensive.
Do we know what Davies County does with their latex paint?
Solidifies it.
They solidify it?
Yeah. Any litter or sand, and then you can put it in the trash after that.
So you turn it into Davies County and they actually
No,
solidify it?
I mean, that's what, they have their own program there, everyone solidifies, especially latex painting, and then it can be put in the household trash. 1 inch of liquid in the container is the state's rule on that. Anything more than 1 inch has to be solidified.
But they actually do that at the site, or the homeowner has to do that for the, either homeowner does
They'll
that?
accept it after the homeowner does it.
Oh,
You can accept red paint.
That's what we had to do with all the paint that we had over there. The store at one time, there was a lot of it. John went through the process of using shredded paper to put inside to soak it up and solidify it, and then we threw it away.
and we don't accept it at all now?
No. If we accept that, we're gonna have to start taking oil and gas again, which is hard to get rid of, and we have to pay for, and
we don't want to do that.
and all the other hazardous materials, so.
Okay.
And all of our people will have to have the hazmat training and
No, we don't have a good, really location for that either, like that.
Right.
Right.
Not a good idea.
We had so much of it stored over there because the district couldn't afford to get rid of it. It took a long time to get it out of there, paying a little bit, maybe each quarter, every 6 months, to get a little of it out.
First place they look on inspection.
Yep.
So Marvin, what do we have to do? What are the steps we have to do in order to raise the rates?
Make recommendation, discussion, set a public hearing, hold a public hearing, then act.
So it's a couple-month process. If they bring back next month, then we'd set a hearing for the next month and then pass it the next month. So
Well, you would consider the same month you do the public hearing. Procedurally, it should be a unanimous vote, but you'd be surprised if so it can be done in that meeting after you conduct the public hearing.
Okay. Well, I think we need to raise the rates. I think Matt's proved that to us this morning, yeah.
Yeah, I think the Citizens Committee would take their recommendations under consideration and
your place nearby that does take hazardous waste as far as paints and oils and things, what is the nearest?
There is no public,
There is none.
public, no.
Okay, because people ask me and I say, I don't know. I can't.
Not good. We work geographically close to us.
So take it home and smear it on the wall.
It's gonna be.
That's right.
yeah, it's a great idea.
Safety clean out of Champaign, Illinois, about the closest one I know of. And you won't pay for it, really. You won't pay for it.
Well, they're not gonna do that. It's-
Any further discussion?
I'd make a motion that we have the Citizens Committee bring us back recommendations next month for the price increases.
Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second on the floor. If there's no more discussion, hearing none, take a vote. All in favor? Okay. Next month, we'll have some prices to go through and make a determination.
Good work, guys. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay. Our next project is the Greene Wave. I guess I didn't need to send that around. You had one, I just hadn't seen it.
You want your copy back?
I would like to have that back, yeah.
Yours is a lot prettier colors.
Yes.
Good paper.
Our prices are better than their published prices on our contract.
How's that work?
I guess if we've got a contract with them, we pay a little better price.
That says Vigo County at the top.
Yeah, it's a price list.
That just came yesterday. They're sending out to all their current contractors a new price. I just wanted you to see how the
Okay.
increase that they're sending. That's the second one I've got.
Our contract is calling for less than that, so it's our contract, we're not gonna pay that price.
Okay.
Those letters all went out yesterday to the other customers.
Well, I mean, we're happy with their service, I think.
We are.
Yeah, I've seen this. We need to have somebody dispose of it.
Yeah. Any discussion on the Green Wave contract?
I'd make a motion we approve.
I would second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the Green Wave contract for 2024. I believe this is an annual contract, isn't it, Marvin?
It is, this one's got a renewal option that you still have to deal with whatever the pricing is.
Yeah.
So we'll be looking at it again at the end of the year, first of next year.
A motion's been made and seconded, all in favor? Any, public or employee comment?
The only thing I had, we talked about the tire machine, breakdown machine last month. And you can get one through Napa for about $3,500. That will take up to 21-inch rim. But they are air over hydraulic, so you would have to have a 175 PSI air compressor. We talked about putting it on a trailer. I don't know if trying to mount that big of a compressor on a trailer plus having that electric provided to it. It can be done, obviously, but it may be more of a hassle. And I think I talked to Ed a little bit about it. I think he said you guys do not have an air compressor at Greene County.
No, we don't. It would be something too, we could, if we were to do something like that, we could put that in that back room, air compressor there and wire it up and have electrical for the tire machine, and just everything with the rim goes through there and gets taken off.
That's what I was thinking. I know you probably got compressors in the city.
We do.
Where if we needed it, you needed it, the machine could still be mobile, but they could bring it in, and if they've got a bunch of tires at the Embassy Day, then they can break them off the rim. Same thing at the Lynn sub, and, we got the gas and water building there, so we got a compressor.
The other alternative might be not to take tires with rims in them. Do we get a lot of tires from rims? We get several.
I know during our cleanup, we'll get north of 100
Yeah.
with rims on them.
Was that right?
Oh, yeah. And we spend half a day breaking them down and taking them off. But it's better that than in our ditches and.
Oh, yeah.
Making
That's what I say, if they
doesn't
roll
lead
in-
up if you don't.
Afraid if they roll in with them, then when they roll out, they're not gonna make them back home. Or if they do, they're piled up in the yard again, so they've defeated their purpose.
Yeah. You're probably right, they probably won't make it back home.
Exactly. I mean, you hate to take them, but it's just kind of one of the necessary evils.
But we were charging a higher fee for ones with
Yeah.
on rims anyhow.
Yeah.
And then you've got the choice.
And we were being charged for taking them off the rim too, when we were cutting them.
That'd be more expensive.
He charged more for the tires on the rims.
Was there metal rims that were taken off?
Just
Cheaper ones.
took them off on trailers. And then you've got the rims, you save enough that you can get some scrap out of, or money wise. But that was just something I didn't know whether I needed to pursue the option of getting it, or you want to discuss it more next meeting, or... I know that about 3,500 is going to cover the machine. Coming up with a trailer is not going to be much of a problem. I've actually got a small one at home that I'd probably donate. I just think trying to put that machine and a compressor,
Be a lot of work.
Yeah.
it's just gonna make it, well, you're not gonna have room to work on the trailer unless you wanna spend the money on a big trailer.
Well, it's gonna cost $1,000 for a compressor. And that's
And there's no need of setting it all up on a trailer unless it can be self-contained, so then you're gonna need a gas-powered compressor and a generator to run the hydraulic too, so.
The more we checked on it, the more it's just,
Yeah,
you know, you're gonna, you can, but you're gonna have $20,000 on something.
Yeah. I don't think at this time we can afford
No.
something like that.
And you know, you can check around your compressors. Now, we check Napa, we check through, Advanced Auto, the stores there in town. Compressors is really just about almost expensive as tire machine. I didn't realize that compressors had went up that much.
I didn't either.
You can run it on a smaller compressor, but it's recommended at 175 PSI storage.
that takes a pretty good compressor.
Yeah, the storage is your big thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's just gonna sit there and run the whole time. Keep up, and there's not that big a price between going with a smaller compressor that size, but that would just be more cost on your side. We've got it covered, you've got it covered, so.
So you just break them down by hand now, is that how you do that?
We have our own tire machine in the shop.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
Oh,
and it's right next door to where we do, so it's convenient.
Oh,
You know,
You wouldn't even know, we don't have.
oh, we do.
That'd just beat us to use that thing.
Is that the only, do you take tires all the time? Or do you just take them during the tire amnesty?
We take them all the time.
You take them all the time?
We get them a lot in our, well, when we go through our Board of Works meetings, when we have to clean up properties, or they clean up,
Yeah.
is
You
we
pick
don't take an abundance of them at one time. Obviously, they usually just come in maybe 8 or 10 at a time.
So, we are using that Vermillion County guy to take care of our tires now. So is he gonna, are you gonna haul them to Switz City, or are you gonna
We
leave
haul
them?
ours over to you guys.
You haul them over to Switz then? Okay. So we all collect them at one spot then? He didn't?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Napa gave us, we get pretty good pricing through Napa with our break through the city. And we can go into bin pack, things like that. That's a more popular name in machinery. Then you're at $5,000-6,000. The same machine, if you're just gonna use it for like a Teamans or your tire shop, yeah, I'd probably do it with that machine. But
Yeah.
for what we're gonna use it for, just this will take up to a 21-inch tire, which is basically what a pickup has now. You know, it's not gonna dump off tractor tires or nothing like that, so
I think most places do that by hand anyhow, don't they? I think Team even breaks them down by hand.
Well, probably the county, if they still did, they call borough, and Sands Pecans.
I'm gonna need to talk with them, they're not mentioning, in their contract, they're not mentioning tires with wheels.
Where they even take them, or?
Right, or whether they don't. Yes
I
or
would
no.
assume they don't, yeah.
I would assume they don't either.
I thought I'd seen in there, I don't know if it was last year's or what, that they were taken, but they hammered you pretty hard on the fee.
And they don't mention one way or another, I'd say they don't take them.
Then there's no hurry. So
Maybe we-
just said I'd get you some pricing together and what would need to be set up, so.
Maybe we need to table that for a while till we see
How many we got?
how many we got, how it works out.
Go through this amnesty day and see what we have.
Yeah,
Let's do that.
if that works for everybody.
Yeah, we got plenty of places to stack them for
Yeah.
a day or two.
But we're not gonna be able to keep them stacked, we're gonna have to get them out of there. We're getting a lot of rain now with the tires we have. Yeah. The guys have got everything set up over there for, real well for Amnesty Day, where they can unload them and keep them where they can pick them back up easy. But they're also setting where they can pick up water real easy. Yeah. We're gonna need to get them out of there as fast as possible. And Amnesty, everybody's got a flyer there for Amnesty. Pass that around, I've already been hearing from the farmers. They're gonna bring a lot of tires in at the meeting the other night, so. Any other matters come before the board?
I had a comment made to me by a local customer about providing receipts for turned in trash and stuff. Is that something that's been discussed? Providing a receipt for...
They do provide receipts for cash over there.
I've
They're
never
supposed to, they got receipt books for that. If people will wait, they'll get them a receipt.
And I don't know if they asked and then said no or didn't ask, whatever, but they were asking about receipts being available, so I've never received one. So
I've seen them write them. I'm not there all the time, but I've seen them writing the receipts. And maybe people has to ask for them.
And that may be the case, if they just provide a hard copy, I assume that's all they do, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the way Greg does it at Linton, obviously if the person asks for one, he writes out the receipt. Otherwise, I think if it's just trash, he totals it for he stays open and makes one receipt for trash, because a lot of people don't want the receipts.
Mm-hmm.
More paper to recycle.
Well, to be honest with you, as expensive as those receipt books get now, because State Board of Account wants them sequence, a number sequence, and you gotta have a 3-part copy. It's not the first time I've done it, I just went to Lamar's and bought just a receipt book, and that didn't fly, so.
When you got cars stacked up on each other trying to get through there,
Yeah, and
and getting the information right, receipts takes time too.
and it has to be, ours runs through the sanitation, is the department we run that through, same as on trash, so it has to have a department head, department that it has to be assigned to.
But they do have them. If they're asking for receipts, they're supposed to be getting receipts.
Okay, I will provide that information back to the customer if they are available if asked for.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay.
Any other matters come before the board? If not, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved. There a second? Second. Motion made and second. All in favor? Thanks, guys.